Hey there, it's Dave Altavilla for Hot Hardware here with what could be the fastest Android phone on the market currently, and it is none other than the ASUS ROG Phone 3. I'll tell you why it's one of the fastest smartphones you could buy right now, and take you on a quick nickel tour next. All right, so the ASUS ROG Phone 3, Republic of Gamers, that's what ROG stands for, and looking at the box, you can tell that this thing is dialed in for gamers to be sure. Really nice packaging from the folks at ASUS. Little ROG Phone 3 logo there, slides out, and you can get access to all the goodness inside, just like that. But what's inside is where it's at, of course. And in the box, ASUS does offer a nice assortment of accoutrements. There are a couple of optional accessories here, like these cases. We'll get to these in a minute. But in the box, you do get a nice 30-watt charger power adapter, and this phone supports a Quick Charge 4.0 technology, Qualcomm Quick Charge 4.0, so very fast top-offs with that 30-watt adapter. USB-C, nice braided USB-C cable here, long USB-C cable, and a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter headphone jack dongle, because the headphone jack does not exist in this phone, unfortunately. You also get the signature ASUS Aero Active Cooler 3, which plugs into a side-mounted dual USB-C, customized USB-C port on the side for attaching a fan on the back, an active cooler on the back of the phone to cool it off, because this phone can crank, and we'll talk about why in a minute. You also get a few plugs for that dual USB-C, custom USB-C port on the side, as well as the bottom USB-C port, a couple of rubber plugs, and some sticker swag from the ASUS Republic of Gamers contingent. And you also do get this bumper for the back. Not a whole lot of protection, very thin plastic here, but there are some optional case accessories here that are pretty interesting. This is the Neon Aero bumper. Kind of cool, hot pink. I don't know if that's your thing. But this might be my favorite case. As with previous ASUS ROG phones, you do get some back-mounted lighting here. That, when you snap into this bumper, actually, flip it around, there you go, actually illuminates the back of the device. And as you can see, you get the ASUS ROG logo with some seriously cool RGB goodness. So that is the lighting armor case. But enough about the accessories. What makes the ASUS ROG Phone 3 special? Well, there are a few things here. First of all, 6.59-inch, 144 hertz OLED display, HDR10 Plus certified. So very fast, high refresh rate, 144 hertz refresh rate display, 1 millisecond response time, and a 2340 by 1080p resolution. So lower resolution display, 1080p display, but built for gaming with that 144 hertz refresh rate. Also 650 nits of brightness, so it's a very bright, punchy display. And again, OLED, so really good saturation and pop there. Under the hood, though, is what's really special about this device. On board is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus processor. Now, what does that mean? System on a chip, mobile platform from Qualcomm. It is a goosed up version of the Snapdragon 865. Same silicon, but a specially binned Snapdragon 865 SoC on board here at 3.1 gigahertz. Also has goosed up Adreno 650 GPU or graphics engine on board as well. So ASUS claims about a 10% performance advantage. We'll talk about that over standard 865 flagship Android phones on the market. So a 10% performance boost for, of course, gaming. Also on board our phone is a full 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM. 16 gigabytes of RAM in addition to that goosed up Snapdragon 865 Plus. There are some 12 gigabyte options as well with this device, but all phones come with 512 gigabytes of storage. So 512 gigs of storage, 16 gigs of RAM, and that Snapdragon 865 Plus processor. This thing is dialed for performance to be sure. Also on board is Qualcomm's Snapdragon 5G modem for sub-6 5G connectivity, but not millimeter wave, as well as 802.11x Wi-Fi 6 connectivity connectivity, and a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, which we haven't completed testing on yet, but we expect the ROG Phone 3, like the ROG Phone 2 before it, to be an excellent performer in terms of battery life. And the OS is Android 10, and it is a very traditional setup for Android 10, but you do get a little bit of ASUS ROG UI skinning here. I'm not a fan, frankly, of the sort of blinged out icons and all that good stuff, but it's definitely a gamer kind of feel, and it's standard stock Android 10 without a lot of bloatware, thankfully. Though ASUS did opt for traditional home, back, and recently used app buttons on the bottom. And of course, as you'll notice on the front of the display, there's a fairly significant bezel on the top and bottom, not only for dual firing front mounted speakers, but also for a little bit better handling in landscape mode for gaming. And those front firing speakers are probably some of the best sounding stereo speakers I've heard in a handset. Very full, believe it or not, with decent bass response in a smartphone, which is kind of surprising. I'll give you a taste here. And of course, ASUS has some nice hooks in its OS for gaming, like air triggers, for example, where you can set up ultrasonic buttons on the top edge of the phone when in portrait mode. And you can see right up there, I'm actuating the buttons. Let's go ahead and fire those up in a little bit of Call of Duty. But of course, I am a total noob, so it's not going to be pretty, but I'll give it a whirl. Oop, sorry about that. Did I get that? I think I did get the kill on that deal. Well, I'm not that much of a noob, am I? Oh yeah, I'm a noob. How you doing? So let's talk cameras. You get a triple camera array on the back based on a 64 megapixel shooter here. The main shooter is a Sony IMX686 sensor with f1.8 aperture. You also get a 125 degree 13 megapixel wide angle shooter that has an f2.4 aperture and a 5 megapixel f2.0 macro shooter and LED flash. And the ASUS ROG Phone 3's front-facing camera is a 24 megapixel selfie cam with an f2.0 aperture as well. But of course, where this phone really shines in addition to gaming is in the benchmarks. And the ASUS ROG Phone 3 scored the top position in almost everything we threw at it, and definitely proved out that 10% performance advantage, especially when it came to graphics and gaming. With that Snapdragon 865 Plus Qualcomm system on a chip on board, that mobile platform from Qualcomm, again, goosed up to 3.1 gigahertz. That octa-core processor really puts out a quality gaming experience, to be sure. So there you have it, our quick little guided tour of the ASUS ROG Phone 3. It is a device that is absolutely dialed for gamers. Is it for everybody? Not necessarily. It's a pretty large device, certainly a high performance device, big, beautiful display with ample bezels on top and bottom, to be sure. If you don't mind a large device and you don't mind a little gamer bling from the lighting to the accents in the OS, then it's certainly a pretty great option. We're waiting to hear on pricing and availability as well, but we expect to get details on that soon. Make sure you stop by HotHardware.com for our full review, which will be coming in the weeks ahead. I'm Dave Altavilla for Hot Hardware with the ASUS ROG Phone 3. Thanks for stopping by.